Thank you very much. 21-20 Vikings. Raiders ball. First down. Handoff. Running back gets shifty up the middle. Sincere McCormick. Sincere McCormick. Angling left and back to the right. Gets about to the 20 and a Raiders first down. Sincere McCormick.
Well, boy, one thing for sure since we brought JJ on is with the Vikings is they've gotten more explosive on offense, and then defensively been able to get after the quarterback. So if we're going to make a stop here and force the Raiders to try and make a field goal attempt, we're going to have to shore up this run game and then keep getting after the quarterback.
I mean, it's like the come down right now after that Jefferson energy trip and adrenaline rush. It's not like, I mean, we're blessed to do this job. It's a fun job. The game's fun. It's close. But I mean, you talk about somebody coming in and being a natural and stealing the show. Thank you, Justin, and thank you, Vikings PR, and thank you, audio guru Blake Johnson. I mean, that was unbelievable.
It was, and the energy that Justin Jefferson brings. I mean, he doesn't have to talk to us during the game, and obviously he's not playing. But don't tell me that guy's not involved and he's not getting the mental reps. He's out there feeling it with all these guys.
Botch snap. Brown Jr. falls on him. Bo Richter touched him down. So, I mean, this Bo Richter, I mean, he's just like part of everything so far in the second half.
Yeah, he is. And I talked a little bit about with Justin, and what's interesting is, according to Justin, Bo Richter had a better vertical jump at 38.5 inches than he did. A little bit less on the 40 at a 4.5. So, but he has that physical ability. You know, we got a couple guys from the military academies on the team, and so between he and Andre Carter, these guys need a little bit more time, I think, to develop because of what they propose and the responsibilities after they're done playing.
Sincere McCormick on 3rd and 7 with weaving between the hash marks, and he comes up just a little short of the first down. It's now 4th and 2 from the Vikings 12. I'm just not sure with this Anthony Brown Jr., their third quarterback. I'm not sure they want him to throw. I mean, everything's been read option. There he goes. Read option. There the running back goes. So 4th and 2 from the 12. We will see what they unfurl here. Sincere McCormick is the tailback. Offset eye right. Brown Jr. Play action. Rolls out to the right. Looking to run. Got the first down inside the 10 after shaking an Asamoah tackle. Like I told you, man, I'm not sure they want this guy to throw, but when he runs, man, he runs like the wind.
Yeah, he really does. And you mentioned Brian Asamoah, and Brian into this season.
First and goal for the Raiders. Offset eye left. Brown Jr. to McCormick. Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage, but then he falls ahead to the 5 for a gain of 3. That'll make it 2nd and goal for the Las Vegas Raiders, trailing 21-20, 11.5 minutes to go in the first preseason game. Touchdowns today have been Gardner Minshew, 20 to DJ Turner. Kene Wanwu ran one in from 48. Zamir White, their starting tailback, made it 17-7 with a 2-yard run. J.J. McCarthy hit Lucky Jackson for a long touchdown, or was that Tristan Jackson, that is. And McCarthy to Trent Sherfield Sr. for another touchdown. Handoff McCormick right up the middle, can't get him down, falls out to the right, almost falls to the end zone, but is stopped shy of the goal line by Dallas Gant, undrafted rookie from Toledo.
Yeah, and talking to Justin Jefferson, he was talking about just getting vertical and how at his core as a wide receiver, he loves going deep. And we really didn't take any shots offensively deep early in the game, but that's what really changed in the second half. And so you start running the ball a little bit more effectively. That play action game starts to creep in, and you're starting to get some receivers behind some safeties. But going deep is an identity of this offense, and we have to find a way to do it.
A read option. They picked the wrong option or the wrong read. They gave it to McCormick. Lynch ate him up. In for a field goal try, 23 yards right hash. Raiders reclaim the lead. 23-21 boys for Deshaun Wright, a 4th-year corner from Oregon State.
In 2 playoff games, averaged 113 yards of playoff games. So he definitely carried a lot of that offense. I think he's a big part of why Jordan Love got paid the way he did, because of that offense and being able to not only throw the ball but run the ball, and those two phases of the game working with each other. So great to have him here. And like I said, we see a little bit of a different running game with Ty Chandler in there, with Kene Nwanwu in there. And then what are we going to see with Aaron Jones? And I think that's something that the Vikings are going to, the cards that they're going to keep close to their chest and not really give it away in the preseason.
So Oklahoma rookie Walter Rouse played in the first half of right guard. Now right tackle, that is. Now he's the left tackle for Jaron Hall. Back to pass on 3rd and 6. Ball is tipped up in the air and it's incomplete. There, number 74, Spencer Rowland. What's going on, Spencer Rowland? Undrafted rookie from North Carolina. He's a 2018 graduate of Apple Valley High School. Spent 4 years playing for Harvard and a couple for the North Carolina Tar Heels. And Spencer Rowland getting his first National Football League action in his home state, where he was an offensive and defensive menace for Apple Valley High School.
And dare we say he's the best offensive lineman from Harvard this team's ever had? No, I don't think Matt Burke would enjoy that.
No, I mean,
but he's got a shot.
Yeah, I'm not just thinking offensive line. I mean, I'm thinking like Isaiah Kazabinsky, Harvard, just all these Harvard players. He might be the best if they give him a chance. Off the punt, Raiders on the return, and it's returning it for the Raiders in the 4th quarter, Tyreek McAllister. 23-21 Raiders on the Vikings Entertainment Network. Quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's a rookie from South Alabama. So they've gone wheeling through all 4 of their quarterbacks on the roster. Aiden O'Connell, he started the game, went 7 of 9, supplanted by Gardner Minshew. And Minshew led the Raiders on a couple of touchdown drives. One was off a J.J. McCarthy interception, where he eventually hit DJ Turner for a 20-yard TD. And then he got led a drive where Zamir White, running back, finished it from 2 yards out. Then Anthony Brown Jr. and now the South Alabama kid on 2nd down. And the handoff goes to Britton Brown, 3rd year from UCLA, midway through the 4th quarter.
I think one thing I know too is how much of Lewis Cine that we've seen play today. I mean, Lewis is, he had a hard time getting on the field early on, right after he was drafted, and then with the injury to his leg, and we were there, we saw it. It's the fact that he's able to come back and still play this game is pretty remarkable. But he's getting a lot of playing time today, and hopefully he'll factor in to a secondary that with Harrison Smith, we're experienced, but there's going to be some openings.
A.J. Green III, the left corner, no relation. And Duke Shelley, he's the right outside corner. Jalen Williams.
Delay of game by the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Jalen Williams, first full year from Indiana. He's the other corner, making up the nickel. Lewis Cine, Brian Asamoah, Jacoby Francis, they're all in. Levi Drake Rodriguez, 7th round draft from the most recent draft. He has a sack. He's in with Jalen Redmond, who Kevin O'Connell brought up to us in a production meeting earlier this week. Andre Carter II and Owen Porter. They're the edges. Handoff on 3rd and 15. Britton Brown got loose a little bit to the right across the 25, but he's shy of the 1st down. So the Raiders will be punting.
And Paul, you mentioned A.J. Green and Duke Shelley. These are the guys that are in with 6 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. Duke Shelley going into his 6th year. A.J. Green going into his 4th year. We've brought in a lot of defensive backs to figure out our depth chart, but a lot of experience. I mean, you have a Caleb Evans. You just picked up Nahshon Wright, but at the same time, Shaq Griffin, 8 years in, Byron Murphy, 6 years in. We have a lot of experience at that position.
A.J. Cole's last punt was a beauty. Went out of bounds at the 5. Thayer Thomas moonwalking to the 13 and calls for a fair catch. 23-21 Raiders, 6:14 to go in the game. Jonathan Grenard with Ben Lieber next, courtesy of the Vikings Entertainment Network.
I'm excited, man. I love what I see so far. Well, when you were in Houston, you got a chance to see Brian Flores run his defense in Miami. Sounds like you were impressed when you were watching from the other sideline. Now you have a chance to be in his scheme. What do you love about being in this scheme, and how do you think you're going to fit in?
Yeah, man, he's super aggressive, understands football really well, understands how teams want to attack him. And I feel like he has an answer for everything. I think he has that aggressive mindset to let us go and use our speed and our athleticism to our ability, and using that as an advantage. And I think that's what keeps him guessing, but you never know. So that way, that's a good thing about his defense. So I'm glad to be a part of it, so I don't have to be able to, on the other side, worry about if we're going to score or not on offense.
For you specifically, are you going to primarily just be on the line? You're going to be inside the line? I know a lot of guys have this position flexibility. Where do you see yourself fitting in this defense?
Man, honestly, it's everywhere. I think Flo loves to keep, like I said, he loves to keep everybody guessing. But obviously, I know what I'm going to be doing on third down, obviously getting to that quarterback. But yeah, man, he has a great way of just mixing it up. And I think that we have so many guys at our position that can rush the passer and do a lot of things in this defense, as we see all the time. And I think, like I said, I'm glad I'm the player, not the DC, have to draw this stuff up. So I'm excited to see what he got going, man, for sure.
Well, you guys we saw a showcase of young talent out here. You've got Dallas Turner, who really kind of put on a clinic, setting up that sack that he had 3 plays later. And then you got Gabe Murphy, who's had a strong camp. And then Bo Richter comes out here, and he's had a nice little game. So you as a vet, how can you help these young guys? What are you doing to help these young guys here in camp?
Well, it's cool just because, the younger guys are out here for different reasons. Some guys are excited to be in the NFL, and other guys are like, hey, I got to make plays. So seeing a combination of all of that, these guys are just hungry. Even all the way down to Bo, like we said. Obviously Owen as well, OP. Dallas, he's been doing these things, and we just try to work it every day, individual drills, just having talks with them, understanding how we're going to have to maintain through this NFL in the league. And they're just super athletic, super humble, and they're just ready to listen. I think that's the easiest part about me. I can just spill the knowledge to them, and they just receive it so well, as if they've been doing it for a while. So I'm excited to see what's in store for them too, man, for sure.
Every year we go through this turnover in the NFL. No team really stays the same, and same thing for you guys on defense. There's right now penciled to be 5 new players here on defense. How do you guys, one of the new players, how do you get this whole team and this whole defense to sort of gel with all the new faces and personalities?
Yeah, I think the easiest part is that we all have the same common goal. We already know we want to get to the last game that's in the NFL at the end of the season. We're trying to get that ring, and I think that's what makes it easier when we all are trying to speak the same language of football and on defense, and we all can understand and fall back on, hey, we all want the same thing. So these guys have been amazing so far. We got some guys that have been there right there in the playoffs, so many years of experience and stuff like that. Man, I'm excited just to be able to be in another edition, not only on the football field, but in the locker room as well. So I'm excited.
Hey, man, we're all excited to have you. Thanks for the time, and good luck this season, bud.
Thank you, Ben. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you, Jonathan. Bernard's going to be a handful when you bookend him with Dallas Turner. And, the regulars that are going to play on defense September 8th when the Vikings open the season at MetLife Stadium against the New York Giants. Seth Vernon gets this punt, and he better be a good tackler because the returner's getting loose. And Vernon's able to bring down Tyreek McAllister. High punt, and the Raiders with a 23-21 lead and 5 minutes to go in the game. Have excellent field position. There's a flag on the play, by the way. I'm kind of pulling for either a 3-and-out or stop them, or let Carlson get a field goal, make it 26-21. And well, then Jaron Hall would need a game-winning touchdown drive.
Number 33 of the return team.
Okay.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Alex Bachman.
First and 10.
Yeah, so maybe it can be set up for Will Reichard, the Alabama rookie, to walk off in his very first game. Jonathan Grenard highlights, you say.
He practices. He's very intentional whenever he's lined up and trying to do something. So I think it's great for Dallas Turner to see day in and day out at practice.
Okay, and on screens now, Andrew Van Ginkel talking to Dallas Turner, the Alabama rookie, had a sack in the first half. Van Ginkel, when he's described as being really good on and off the ball, what does that mean, and what do you like about it?
Well, as a linebacker, you have really historically had 2 types: guys that played off the ball, the Mike and the Will, and then maybe a Sam or a guy that would walk up on a tight end and be able to jam and cover, and be big enough and strong enough to hold the edge and long enough to play against tight ends in the NFL. So all of these guys, Van Ginkel, Bernard, Dallas Turner, they all have a lot of position flexibility, meaning when you take someone like a Daniil Hunter and drop him in the flat, he's okay. His job, he's a 4-3 defensive end. He's supposed to get after the quarterback. But when you have guys like Ginkel, you're not afraid to lock them one-on-one against the tight end every once in a while. You have that flexibility, and that's what we've seen out of Flores, right? Be able to create certain schemes, get us, understand the blocking schemes so you can send the right guys at the right time and create matchups that are going to ultimately be wins on defense.
Van Ginkel grew up a Vikings fan in Rock Valley, Iowa. Handoff to Brown on 3rd and 10. And he did not get close to the first down, so A.J. Cole will be in to punt again. The Vikings have 3 timeouts. Likewise for the Raiders, and Las Vegas leads 23-21. Thayer Thomas heads onto the field to return the punt. So if Jaron Hall can get the squad down the field to even like the 45-man or whatever, I just want the Alabama rookie to be put in a position to maybe kick a game-winning field goal. Okay, we're happy for you, right? It's preseason. Nah, I mean, every little thing matters to these athletes when it comes to establishing positivity and showing themselves that they can do it. Thayer Thomas, fair catch at about the 10-yard line. Hall, Harry, 28. They say it was incomplete. Second down. Justin Jefferson was mic'd up with us the entire 3rd quarter, and it was an energy trip and an adrenaline rush that was second to none. I mean, you're talking to Justin about formations and coverage and stuff, and then you got a deep shot and he just starts going crazy like the animated, excitable Justin Jefferson you would see on the field, beating somebody for 70, then doing the gritty in the end zone. What we got today was the verbal version of the gritty.
Yeah, and I think what we also got today was a guy who has been around long enough where Jaron Hall trying to push this thing. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. You're down by 2 points. I mean, this is what you practice. These are the situations that you try and work every single day in practice.
Hall, fastball, caught 33, approaching the 2-minute warning. That was a quick hitter of about 5 or 6. Hall played in 3 games last year, made a couple of starts. He got hurt early in the Atlanta game, and that led to the emergence, speaking of adrenaline rushes, of Joshua Dobbs. Hall, pass right, incomplete. That gets us to the 2-minute warning. The Raiders lead the Vikings 23. He has an opportunity to walk off a winner. 47-49 at Alabama from 40 and in his 5 years there. His long at Alabama was 52 yards. That took place against J.J. McCarthy and the Michigan Wolverines in the 2024 Rose Bowl. Now, Reichert hit a 53-yarder when he played at Hoover High School in Alabama and did so against Oak Mountain. That might be an unbelievable rivalry that I'm sure changing a little bit back in 2018. So the leg strength is there. The opportunity so far is not. 3rd down, Hall. Deflected, or excuse me, bounces off the hands of McBride. Incomplete, could have been picked up. Oh, we're punting. So much for the where there's a will, there's a win possibility.
Right, and that situation is with the Vikings only with 1 timeout left. Yeah, they're basically saying, yep, that's it. So,
but Pierce probably would have gone knee, right?
Yeah, probably. Now he's short a guy. This is a nightmare for special teams coaches, especially in the 4th quarter when certain guys are in, certain guys are out.
Yeah.
Just make sure you got 11 guys on the field. That's always, like I said, it keeps them up at night.
Tight end Trey Knox, the late one to run in. Ryan Wright with a boomer. Fair catch at the 12-yard line. Excellent punt by Ryan Wright, 2nd year from Tulane. I make that 3rd year from Tulane because we remember 3 preseasons ago, what would be 2022, we're at Empower at Mile High, and the Aussie, had quite the accomplished career with the Steelers. Jordan Berry was battling it out with Ryan Wright, and I mean, Wright just stole the show that night at Denver, and they cut Berry, and it was Ryan's money. Then Ryan went the entire rookie 2022 entire regular season with 0 touchbacks. Then he had one in the playoff game against the Giants. But my man had 7 last year, and I know that's something special teams coordinator Matt Daniels definitely wants to have turned around. Assuming Wright's the punter, but we shouldn't make that assumption. Seth Vernon got a couple of punts today. I mean,
no, he did, and it's a sad but true fact that the competition is what makes you better. And for Ryan Wright, I think he and Jr. another great job. And for a young
Network Studios in LA, Raiders and Vikings just finishing up. We are 7 minutes away from kickoff between the Chiefs and the Jags. You will not miss it. Do not stress. Don't worry. But until then, we'll take you back to the final minutes of Raiders and Vikings.
But got better as this game went on.
Minnesota, this is a 30-second timeout. Please set the game clock to 1 minute 42 seconds, please. 1:42.
So
the clock will start on the snap.
Thank you, Ron. Ron Torbert, one of the better referees in the NFL, in my opinion. The Raiders keep tossing it to Sincere McCormick. The Vikings are basically like, we know you're not going to throw the ball with this South Alabama rookie Bradley Carter with his field position at this stage of the game, so they're just jumping everything. Owen Porter just got McCormick behind the line of scrimmage, so it's 3rd and 10 from the Raiders 12. Las Vegas leads 23-21, and now Carter has 2 receivers right, 1 left, and they're going to run up the middle, and that's stopped at the 15-yard line. Owen Porter, undrafted from Marshall, 57, just had a heck of a series, and Kevin O'Connell is going to use his final timeout.
A huge impact in an important part of a game. Corners
Jalen Williams and Dwight McGlothern are opposite the Gunners. Thayer Thomas set to return this whole punt at the 35, gets the sideline to the 40, and he travels out of bounds at about the 42. Jalen Guyton, the backup wide receiver for Antonio Pierce's Raiders, escorted him out of bounds. So we have 1.5 minutes to go. Jaron Hall at quarterback. Las Vegas leads 23-21, and the opportunity for Will Reichert to walk off a winner, even, what do you think, 65 and in, simply because it's preseason?
Yeah, probably. I mean, give him a shot. But the one thing that's going to change is he's not going to have a timeout going into the kick. They're going to have to hurry this thing up. And so right now, get the ball to the sideline, try to stop the clock as much as possible.
Jaron Hall, 4 of 10, 32 yards. Shotgun, 5-man rush. Hall passes, go! Trey Knox almost had it. I mean, I don't know if it was tipped, if Jaron got it over the outstretched arm.
To get that depth you need in this situation and get a finger on that football.
Spencer Rowland, Apple Valley High School go crazy. Still in at left guard. Hall, empty backfield, over the middle, and it is caught. It's caught in Raiders territory at about the 40-yard line. Ty James, undrafted Mercer. Ty James trying to win the game before the Vikings head to Cleveland next week. A couple of joint practices against Kevin Stefanski's Cleveland Browns Wednesday and Thursday. And a week from today, the second preseason game, this one from Cleveland. Raiders rush 4. Hall. I mean, an alley-oop to McBride. I don't exactly know what was happening there. But
trying to work the screen game. And that's what happens. The defensive lineman getting a rhythm and rushing the passer because it's a 2-minute situation. And you want to try to sneak that in there. It just took them a long time to get that play off. And yeah, this is where Jaron Hall, he's got to build on his experiences. He's played in a regular season game. I did a really nice job against Atlanta until he was injured. So he's got to come out here, and he should be standing out right now. If he's going to be threatening or trying to get playing time somewhere, whether it's here or somewhere else, he needs to shine.
Hall, 4-man rush, fires right, caught Thayer Thomas, makes a man miss at the 40, just inside the numbers, lunges ahead to the 39-yard line. The Vikings have no timeouts remaining. That's a gain of 7. So now it's 3rd and 3, clock runs. What?
Las Vegas, this is a 30-second timeout.
Wow, look at Vegas doing us a solid here.
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, that's like being in Vegas having a 16 against a king, busting, and the dealer's like, nah, man, we'll give you another chance.
Oh man, but for Jaron Hall, he's doing a nice job. It's just when you have a new set of players.
Jags, and then Vikings on the left side until that game goes final.
You just saw Justin Jefferson. I mean, we need to thank him for this entire thing turning around. Vikings losing at halftime. Jefferson jumps on the microphone. We got long touchdown passes. And here we are with a chance to beat the Raiders. Hand off to Wayne McBride up the middle between the hash marks 25, 24, 23. And that was on first down. And another timeout.
Vegas has called its third and final charge timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Maybe Antonio Pierce is trying to manipulate or capitalize on the new kickoff rule, thinking, you know what, I want to try this kick and maybe my choice best kick return and see if we can do some damage. The thing is Riker can just kick it out of the end zone and they start at the 30.
Yeah, right. And right now, depending on how the play goes and how much time's left on the clock, the Vikings can use that to their advantage and really run this clock out as much as they possibly can. But we're getting a chance to see Justin Jefferson. Paul, I think the one thing with Justin that stands out is he's making the transition to leaving a legacy, right? He's helping out the younger players.
Yeah.
Gets excited when they're, he's still talking about the 2,000 yards and some of those things, but I think his focus now is more about this team, how far you can go in the playoffs, and the individual awards are not as important as they once were.
Hall, McBride, Blazer grinds up the middle of the 20. Clock's running. Neither team has any timeouts. And this feels like we're just going to let that thing run down to 3 and bring in Will Reichard, a drafted Alabama rookie, and have the Vikings walk off a winner. Kevin O'Connell told us in that production meeting earlier in the week that yeah, it's a preseason game, but I want to win it. It's right. The Vikings have lost 10 consecutive preseason games, and Kevin O'Connell wants to win a preseason game, so we're going to have an opportunity here with Will Reichard about set to unfurl a 38-yard try to the west side of US Bank Stadium. The pivoting doors are open. No breeze coming in on this beautiful Minneapolis Saturday. Andrew DePaula, that's an all-pro long snapper. He's set to send it back. Ryan Wright, the veteran punter, to hold it. And rookie kicker Will Reichard from between the hash marks, 38 out. Snap spot. Right-footed Reichard kick is good. And the Minnesota Vikings.
And the Vikings come back to win it 24-23 over the Raiders. That game now final in Minnesota. So for now, we'll send it out to